What's up, YouTube? Doing a short video on some of the fly fishing gear I use, my rods and flies I tie, and how I set my rods up. My gear is by no means top of the line. Some of the more snobbier fly fishing community would consider my setup probably low end, if not garbage, right? But hey, I'm a firm believer you ain't got to go out and spend $800 on a rod and reel to go out and catch bluegills, and you sure don't have to go out and buy, I won't say the name brands, but some of the $800 reels and the $2,300 rods, right? But then again, I'm not going to Alaska catching steelheads or going out catching bonefish and stuff like that. Be nice, but there you go. So with that being said, I'm more of like, you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to get into fly fishing. If you want to get into it, a hobby of it, you can go to Walmart and buy the little Martin packs like that, or some of the other ones like Academy, and get the little kits for like 30-40 bucks. I do recommend spending a little bit more money and going to like Bass Pro or Cabela's, or if you have other stores. That's just places by me. If you're out there, it's Field and Stream, and there's a bunch of other places. Go and get like one of the preset combos with the rods already out of the package, with the line on it at the back end, the leader already on it. A lot of them, like whitewater ones, will set up pretty good. Even Orvis has some of the encounter rods that you can get for 120, 150 if you want to spend a little bit more. They're decent rods. They throw very well. Anyway, this is my saltwater rod right here. I do not do a lot of saltwater fishing. I have caught speckled trout on this rod. I've lost a redfish. I'm planning on getting into. I bought this because I want to try to get into some amberjack action on punch and train. So I'm gonna give this a ride. I don't know if they're gonna break it or not, but I'm gonna try. Do more freshwater fishing, hence the blackwater fly fishing name. This is my freshwater bass rod, heavy bass rod. It's an 8-weight. It's the Cabela sink rod. It's got the 8-weight forward floating line. It's got 8-weight leader, and I think I changed it to 10-pound tippet on it. I've caught a couple nice sized fish with this. These are my favorite rods down here. This is my Orvis Clearwater 4-weight with my bat and kill 2 with my 4-weight floating line. Got a 4-pound leader on here, and I think I got 5-pound tippet on there. I like these smaller rods. I find I can throw the 5 and smaller rods just more comfortable. It just takes less action. I can throw these big rods. It just got to put some oomph in it to throw them big flies. Because a lot of people think the misconception that you need these big rods to catch big fish, and part of that's true. But the majority of these bigger rods like that, like I can catch almost the same size fish on a 5-weight or 4-weight that I can on this 8-weight rod if I fight it right. But the problem that I can't do is like, see, like this big fly right here, these big fluffy feathery flies right here, that they're big, right? And you cannot throw them flies on a 5-weight. They catch too much air, and it's like you put all that load and motion to that line and flick it forward, it goes 10 feet because the line ain't strong enough to throw it out. That's why you need these thick, bigger rods with the heavier line to chunk them big flies out there. So, but then bigger flies don't always mean bigger fish, because when I went to Montana and was catching some trout in Montana, I was catching like 10 to 18-inch size rainbow trout and browns with flies no bigger than 1/4 inch. So, there you go. Moving on down, this is, like I said, this is my 2-weight rod right here. This is a 4-weight Clearwater. This is my 2-weight. I bought this just for fishing like little Breck ponds and maybe little sloughs and canals like that, where I know I'm not gonna hook anything bigger than a couple pounds, because it's only a back kill has a 2-weight floating line on it. I think I got like a 2-pound leader and maybe 2-3 pound tippet on it. So it's a very light rod. It's only meant for catching little fish. But catching a bluegill, I'll take it to Gray's Creek, and every now and then I'll catch a bluegill on it, man. That just feels like I'm hooked orca. So that's my fly rides, and these, in all honesty, these hang on the wall more than I use them because I don't want to end up breaking them. These are my rides that I use the majority of the time. This is the rides I keep in my car. I thought that was strange at first, so I talked to more fly fishermen, and I found that just about all of them keep at least one or two rides in their car or their truck, because you never know when you're going down the road and see some place that you might want to fish that you don't think you're going to get arrested, right? I bought this right here. This is a Woodard 7.6 3-weight ride. I got 3-weight line, 3-pound tippet, 3-pound leader on it. I bought this ride right here because YouTube has a video about fishing the Little Missouri River, and one of the guys in there owns a little ride company. I don't know if he's still doing it now, but I saw this ride and I liked it a lot. The Woodard March Brown 3-weight, and it was a decent little ride, so I got it. I'm happy with it. I caught a bunch of bluegills, a couple bass on it. It's a really good little ride. This is my little ultralight ride. I bought this. I used to have a 1-weight, but I broke the tip of it. I tried to contact Max Catch and see if they would replace the tip on it. They never emailed me back. So this is a 2-weight right here. So this was an inexpensive little ride. I think I paid like $20 for this ride. Got a little Angler's Dream reel to go with it. I think I paid like $15 for it. Floating forward line. I got a 2-weight with a 2-weight tippet. The lines I use, the fly lines, I don't buy those $40 and $50 lines because I'm mostly bass and bluegill fishing. I mean, I can do the same thing with a $10 line that I can do with a $100 line. So it's not. I don't know if I'm being cheap or I just know better, right? Because I can't force. I have the money to do it, but I can't force myself to go out and pay top end stuff for catching bluegills when I can do the same thing at a somewhat decent, budgeted price. Because it's I see the worst thing you do is go out and buy a $3,000 fire ride and get out there and break it, or get out there and hook yourself in the ear or the back or something because you don't know how to throw it and then get to suck it. Because one of my favorite memes I saw was a little picture of Yoda, right? And it said, "There is no try out fly ride, suck you must at first." And it's true. You cannot learn to throw them rides. Anyway, this is my little Altoid tin right here with my flies in it, and I keep a couple of strike indicators, and I put that tin in here and put my ride. The reel goes in my little sock right there. This is my extra little fly pack. I keep the extra carts and gear and a couple extra little flies in it and some tools, and I got a little pair of cheap glasses. I keep that behind my seat. So I keep these in my car, and really the only one I'd be upset about if somebody broke in and stole would probably be my Woodard ride, but I've been lucky nobody's done that. This is my main gear I use when I go on my Hobie, or I go in my Sin, or if I go in my Carolina skiff that I don't hardly use no more. I'll hand me down both my brother sold me. Best $20 I've spent in fly fishing so far. This little Piscofin bag. Place for your water bottle. I'll put my fly box in the little pouch right here. I bought some little cheap things to hold my tools with. My little pliers for taking the hooks out of bluegill's mouth. A lot of times, majority of the time, I fish barbless. If I'm fishing in an area where I know there's a bunch of little ones, I'll fish barbless because I throw the little ones back. If I'm fishing in an area that's got big ones, and a lot of big ones, I'll try to go barb until I catch the fish I want, 5 or 6 of them, and then I'll go barbless. Sometimes I just go barbless because it's just easier on the fish. Little pack, I keep my strike indicators. I like the football indicators the most, but I also use the little round ones. I keep some Polaroid glasses with a little rag for cleaning them, mosquito net for gnats and mosquitoes, a couple of extra little flies, different colors. I tie these flies in my car when I'm on lunch. I enjoy doing it. It takes the stress away from me. I get over here and replace my flies in my little fly box right here. Like I said, I keep in my pouch. Keep some extra leader line on me, different size of tippet for bass, for my ultralight rides. 5-pound tippet I use pretty standard for my 4-weights, or if I have a 5-weight in a ride in the closet. I don't use the left-handed I didn't know the difference between left-handed. It's my first reel I ever bought, so that's pretty much my gear. Close up of my flies. This is a little, I call it whitewater skeeter. I copied this off a fly that Looking Fishy ties for Clark. I don't know if that was his original pattern or not, or where he got it from. Anyway, I took his bigger fly and took like a size 12 or 14 hook and tied a little smaller version of it. I figured bluegills would love it, and they did, man. I got a video by you, Lacombe, just pulling them out with it. Beetle fly, the woolly spider. I use these. They work really efficient under strike indicators. My little honeybee flies, I think could be considered yellow jackets. They don't know the difference. They just it's like recognize what it is. Popper foam ants, more woolly spiders. San Juan worms work really good for goggle eye, or they call them warmouth up north. Basically, my poppers, some more different little fly selections I keep, my ants, my spiders. Keep a couple bluegill bass flies. Every now and then I'll find. The cool thing about kayaking, man, is just look around the water around you and look at your surroundings. Like I've been paddling out there before fishing, and look over and see sac-a-lait rolling over chasing minnows and start sac-a-lait fishing. I've been fishing and see bass chasing minnows and start bass fishing and catching them. Bluegills, when they're spawning, you can get up on them, and it's like a musky urine odor where you can smell where they're bedding. So when you're out there in the water in a kayak or something like that, or even a boat, just pay attention to what's going on around you, and it'll give you a hint. Like that's what those guys do up north, like in the creeks when they're fishing for trout and all that. They're watching what insects are doing, or watching what the fish are feeding on. So keep that in mind. So that's it. That's my gear that I carry with me when I go fly fishing majority of the time. Like, but no means is it expensive or extravagant. It's just basic gear. So, like I said, that's my whole point. That's my whole point in my channel about the fly fishing aspect of it. You don't have to go spend a lot of money to get into fly fishing. You can go out with a decent amount and catch fish.